can just be difficult. So I usually try to go for them regardless, but don't always have the best luck with it. Okay. So this bullhead that's spewing fire, eventually we'll be able to turn all of those off that are in the level, and there are a few, but for the time being, they're just going to continue shooting fire, so I'm not going to bother getting that item that's in front of it. You don't need those carvings for anything PvE wise, but for PvP they can be fun just to say hi and everything and all that good stuff.
Here.
After you spend a certain amount of souls with them, you'll be able to get that ring from them. I decided not to use the bandit armor. I don't know. I don't really... It looks cool, but it doesn't look how I'd like it to look. Just trying to get my guy to look a little better. Yeah. Keep the mannequin Tom. Whatever. It's not bad. Yeah, if you're on stairs, it can be difficult to get a riposte or a backstab in, because the way you're positioned and the way they're positioned with the height differences. So sometimes you'll be able to do it, other times you'll just kind of have to suck it up and just hit the guy like you normally would. So these put you behind these three mobs, and what I do is I always just aggro one of them by walking out a little bit, and I just take these guys on 1v1 instead of having to do a 2 or 3 v1. It's just me versus them. I hate that attack. And I have to say, for how much damage that does to Pursuer, you would really think that it would do more damage to these guys. Because there's no way that these guys are wearing heavier armor than the Pursuer was wearing. Okay, so this area has several, I think there's 3 guys with bows that once you get into their sight, they're gonna start shooting you. So you just gotta sort of actively dodge them. Just, you know, don't forget that they're there. Just keep moving and everything. This was a mistake. I was planning on just running across the bridge and continuing that way. I really did not mean to fall down there, but I did, so while we're here, I guess I'll just show you. You turn this valve to make the flames inside of this part of the this little like hut thing go away. I guess this is the forge. So you can run here and you get these. It's good to have. And you can actually skip a boss. So if you do that, you can skip the smelter demon, but there is a bonfire directly after the smelter demon that you won't have access to if you just skip And, you know, if you're struggling with Smelter and you just can't do it, then by all means, skip them. Skip them and come back later when you're stronger and give them another shot. But for the purposes of this, I am going to kill him. I think there's an item down here. Yeah, there is. Okay. Alright. So those levers I pulled, if you couldn't guess, they just they drop the bridge for each side. So now that I've pulled both of them, the bridge is perfectly straight. That is Lucatiel's sign on the ground right there. We're going to use it for a smelter, if nothing else, than to serve as a distraction. Which doesn't do a whole lot of damage to him, but you know. I'll take what I can get when it comes to boss fights. This is Zweihander, which is kind of a favorite from Dark Souls 1. Because it was very easy to get early on in the game. I think it's kinda lackluster. It was good in Dark Souls 1, but the combat in Dark Souls 1 as a whole was slower. The game itself just ran slower as well. This game is definitely a lot quicker. Well, not a lot, but it's noticeably quicker. And for that reason, I just don't really consider the Zweihander to be that good of an option for a weapon to use. Okay, Smelter. This guy can be very difficult. He's got a decent portion of attacks, like that. It's an AoE attack that he'll occasionally do after he does his jump attack. Not only that, but due to the flames coming out of him, you'll get hurt. Like you'll see me now, I'm kind of burning just by standing near him, which is unfortunate. He buffs himself up twice, so I guess you would say there's 3 phases. And as such, we're entering the 3rd phase now. This is as strong as he's going to get during the fight. And for the large part, we just hit him and back off. Especially with Lucatiel as a summon, the only thing she's really good for is distracting the boss. She's not very good at it. As you can see, his attacks, even his cone attacks, do have quite a long, excuse me, quite a long range. And because of that, it's dodging him can be difficult. But again, it's just another case of upgrade the weapon, get a strong weapon, and a tough fight is no longer that tough. Okay, and what we're going to do now is get the Ring of Blades +1. And this is when I finally realized that I haven't had rings on since the last time I took my gear off. I do that very often. I just have a habit of completely forgetting that I took the gear off in the first place. And I always forget to put the rings back on. You know what, let's put Rodden on. We got 4 of them. Okay. See if I can poison him. Did I do it? I think I did it. Nope, missed that one. Oh jeez. There we go. One thing I will say, I think the putting the stone ring on was probably a bad choice for this fight, just because I keep knocking him out of the parry stun. And I kept missing those dodges when I should have just parried. For whatever reason, the less health I have, the less likely I am to parry. And unfortunately, on a fight like this, where dodging an attack can be a little weird, that can come back to get you. So let's try that again. I'm just gonna kind of go full aggressive mode. I'm not really gonna go for the parries like I was. I'm just gonna try to kill him real quick. There we go. Is he poisoned? No. No chance. Okay, now he's poisoned. Can cut that out real quick. Yeah, there it is. Just sit down, pursuer. Had enough. Not interested. Okay, let's put the Ring of Blades +1 on. Right now I'm at 40%. I'm just gonna find something to put on to put me below that. Huh. Yeah, I think it'll be that. Okay. Mace +7.
I'll be around.
Only 3 more upgrades left with the mace. That's not bad considering we still have 2 major bosses left.
Alright, you want to go
And there's a
to-
few
Yeah,
in
need to
between
watch.
them as well.
Where? I get.
I'm only getting that right now just because I have a decent soul stack and I'm gonna get some aromatic from them anyway. So we're gonna be using that ladder later, much later. But for the time being, since I've got souls, I figure I'll just use them. I'm not gonna buy any of that gear, not yet anyway. it is pretty good, but all of it is pretty heavy. So there's always that trade-off. See if I can level up. Nope. Oh, cool. I knew I had something. Okay, let's keep going. See, the good thing is these guys, a ton of people hate these guys for good reason. If you're in a new game or whatever, just they have a lot of health and they've got a lot of defense. They can be very annoying. But since we've got a good weapon, we can two-shot them, which is a luxury that you won't always have. This leads to a different area. We're not going to go here yet, but we will. What I'm going to do now is just grab this chest, and I'm probably just going to use the bow on the archers here and just kill them from up here. I don't really want to deal with them. Okay, that is not doing a lot of damage. So let's just poison them. And still more damage because it's a little closer, but still just gonna poison those guys. Don't really want to deal with them. Let's try to get this. Damn it. Okay, so since we pulled that lever, this different platform came down, and the two ironclad guys that were standing on it just fell into the lava and died. And there's these little buttons on the ground over here that we're going to use to make these guys just jump into the lava so we don't have to deal with them either. Okay, and we're going to clear this upper area real quick. This is actually a mimic. I know a lot of people thought that there wouldn't be a metal chest mimic, but they were wrong. So this part up here can be difficult if you're not going through it quickly, because there are 3 of the, I guess I'll call them the elite ninja samurai guys. But as long as you're quick, it's really not that big of a deal. And here is the Black Knight Great Axe. A weapon that is pretty lackluster in this game, just like almost all of the axes. I don't know why they did that, I don't agree with that design choice at all, because Dark Souls 1 had some pretty cool axes, and this game has the, what is it? The axe you can make from the soul of the last giant, and that is the only cool looking axe in the game, which is stupid. Not to mention, no one even uses the axes because they're just slow, and their moveset overall is pretty bad. They could still work in Dark Souls 1 because that was overall a slower game, but they're really not very good in this one. Okay, let's go up into the other belfry area. Thank God I made that jump. If you do fall down here by mistake when you're clearing this part and you don't really want to go up the bell thing, then you gotta just travel back to the other bonfire. You're by no means like pigeonholed into having to do this area, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. So you notice how this fog gate has gone up? If you see one of those in a place where there wasn't before, that means you're being invaded. So those fog gates will actually show up before the message saying that you're invaded will show up. So if you ever have any doubts or anything, or if you're in an area such as the Belfries where being invaded is pretty common, then you definitely want to just check out the doors. GG, Brinstall. Oh God. There we go. There it is. Just like all the other ones, they can do 3 attacks chained together, and after that, they're gonna wait a little bit before they do another one. Okay, I'm just gonna sit over here just so I don't have to deal with the belt keepers shooting at me while I'm killing this guy. guys can just shoot their arrows so quick. Alright, so got a pyromancy, human effigy. Excuse me. And there's an invisible wall right here. Now, those bellkeepers up there do have a chance to drop certain pyromancies. I don't know if you need to be in the Covenant or not for them to do it, but I know they can drop like Flame Swath and something else too, so it's not a bad place to farm some pyromancies. Okay, now we've got this area completed. Let's go. Let's turn off these fire mold things. I don't really get the point of this blade. It's kind of out of place. I mean, it's cool. I just wish it would make sense in the Undead Purgatory, but I don't really understand why the Iron Key has one. You know, whatever works. At first, I didn't even know there was a ladder here. It kind of blends in with the fence. But sure enough, there's a bonfire up here. And you can also turn off all these bowls. Okay, so now the fire's done. Probably should have used a human effigy. I'm gonna go do that. Okay. Go ahead and heal again. And let's kill the Iron King. So as far as I know, there's no NPC summon you can use for the Iron King, which is really not a big deal. That's perfectly fine. He's not a difficult fight at all. These, and let's go. Alright, for the large part, if he's using a left-handed attack, dodge to the left, and a right-handed attack, dodge to the right. If he's using both hands to attack, dodge to the left. I mean, you obviously don't need to follow those rules, but for the most part, you should be okay if you do. There is only a certain amount of space where he can hit with his left hand. So, really if he's doing a left-handed attack, you can dodge anywhere. Just get out of the way of it. But if he's doing a right-handed one, then you should definitely dodge. under it, and to the right.
Proceed. It is.
Okay. Iron King's out of the way, so that just leaves us with the final of the 4, which is Freya or Freya? I'll say Freya. Do have a bone dust. Do I have any Estus? No. Okay. So we picked up the Dull Ember. Let's go give that to Macduff and unlock him as a blacksmith. Okay, you can use him to infuse weapons. These are all of the infused traits. And if you got the stones, then you can go ahead and do it. I really don't have very many stones right now, and I'm actually kind of benefiting from the scaling because I do have 20 points in strength, and it scales either a B or an A. So I'm not going to put an infusion on. These are just the things that he sells.